of Jesus as like some mythical, exploit of to believe in something. And I'm talking about the actual presence of him. If you actually experience the presence of him, where you know without a doubt that he is alive, and you have a presence around you, and you surrender to that, which means that presence is love, and you surrender to that love, that means you're willing to love, and that means you're willing to be loved. If you surrender to that, then you understand the significance of Jesus. So, and if you got that, you have that fence around you, because you're no longer sitting on the pride. That's not the pride of fear or pride of sitting on the throne of pride or the pride of fear, whatever. You're no longer sitting on that throne that will keep you from loving yourself or having others to be able to love you. All right. So now when they come back around, you can embrace them. And actually, if you want to be quite frank, how it works, if you're submerged around this force field, if you the presence of God, your enemies will bow down to you, and they will be looking to bless you. They will be looking to bless you. So to go back into that dream, it was a point where I was running from something because I was running for my life. I was afraid of death. I was afraid of fear, so I was running for my life. But when you have the protection in your soul, and your soul is forgiven from all the things that you could have done, not you couldn't have done anything about what was done to you. Okay, let's say like if you was forced to do something out of fear, but you can actually you will always be putting yourself in a position. You will be put in a position at some point to forgive yourself. That means to love yourself. That means if the opportunity comes to remind you of what you did, you don't have to be reminded of that. You don't have to suffer with those thoughts. If you have surrendered with the opportunity, like, well, if this person come back around, I'm just gonna love them. If you made a undeniable, indecisive, however you want to say it, like you have put yourself in a position that you refuse to let anything stop you from loving this person, even though you know that they did you wrong. They hurt you, and they, in a certain way that they may not know that they did, or to the extent of what they did, but they did do it. And when you see them, your hairs on the back of your neck stands up, and you just get really roused up. You really just want to do something to them. But instead of following that reaction, and if you can go ahead and get to the place or be the place to say, I'm just going to love them. And matter of fact, you stop what you're doing there, and you want to bless them. You want to do something to bless them. That means that you are humbling yourself to love. You're humbling yourself to humility, and you're getting off your throne of pride, or getting off your throne of fear, and you're willing to embrace love, which means humility has walked you to the door of love, and now you can walk in. And now when you go to that dream, your dream is no longer chasing you to hurt you. The dream is actually there to stop you, to bless you. So this is when your enemies become your foes. And take the scripture, for example, it said the wealth of the wicked belongs to the hand of the righteous. How do you think that wealth of the wicked goes to the hand of the righteous? If you're not walking in love, how are you considered righteous? You're no different from them. Because the reason why they're doing what they did is because they're not walking in love. So if you're walking in love, then you are different from the people that's not walking in love. So the wealth of them, they will give it to you gladly. It's almost like an honor for them to bless you. Like they can't do anything else. Like they have to bless you. And the only thing you're just doing is walking in love. You're not walking in love that it fulfills you, that you get something from it, that your head gets swole, that you get notarized. You're not loving for none of that stuff. You're loving because you actually forgiving yourself, and you allow love to you allow yourself to surrender to love, and you embracing love, and you just love to love, even if it costs you something that you want, even if it costs you something that you think that you want, such as like you want them to to bow down to you, you want them to grovel, even if you don't get none of that, you want to love them regardless. This is when love has found you. But you have to get in line into the spiritual structure of love. Love has order. Number one, there's nothing greater than love. Number two, love doesn't split itself, so that means love is perfect. Love is not broken, that means it's perfect. And for you to be a part of love, you can't bring brokenness to it. You have to let it go before you get there. That's why humility is there waiting. Humility is awaiting love. Before you can get to love, you have to humble yourself off the pride, because more than likely the hurt of any experience has caused your soul to be in torment. So you're going to have to humble yourself, and that hurt, that torment is going to try to elevate you or try to get you to create a throne that you refuse the opportunity to love. Because it will try to remind you of what once was done. And if you say, no, I'm not going to go by that, I'm just going to take this opportunity to love. That means you have forgiven yourself and you have forgiven the situation. Now humility has found you. Now you're off the throne of pride. Now you can embrace the presence and the ambiance because you have the right attire for love. It's a beautiful place. And we all fall short. That's what makes God's gift to us, which was His Son, the gift of love, so great, because it restores us when we fall off, we miss the mark, when we mess up, when we don't do things right. If we can hurry up and humble ourselves and don't allow a throne of pride or arrogance to be developed, we can get back in right standing. That means we can shake the dust off of us and we can keep running. So if a person comes and they say that you did this, like, I never did that. You're not in denial. You're not lying. You're not crazy. You're not delusional. It's in fact it never existed. Just because a person want to involve a thought to you don't necessarily mean you have to take it. You go to the doctor says you have cancer, stage 3, stage 4, whatever cancer. Like, I don't have to agree with that. You don't have to agree with that. But at the same time, you will have to have the faith to back that up. And that faith is going to be resolved around. The faith is resolved around if you are in oneness with love. That means you have forgiven someone or forgiven the situation, forgiven something of your past. Torment is not allowed in your soul. That means you out to love. You going out to get dirty. What I mean by that, you're going out there to humble yourself. And if any person that wronged you or if any person that you wronged, you're trying to rectify the matter. Not just so you can have a clean conscience. You're trying to rectify because you have tasted love. If anyone have tasted sincere, unconditional love, this is my Savior. So this is Jesus for me. And I tasted His love, or I taste of His love, and there's nothing that can compare to it. No amount of money, no things, no woman, no none of that. Nothing can compare to that. I received it in my mom, and I received it from Him first because I couldn't receive it at first because I had so much anger inside of me, like going back to those past experiences, of hurt. I was refusing to let go of those hurts. I was constantly reminding the people who hurt me. So that means I'm going to hurt people that's trying to love me. And so that means the vicious cycle continues. That means they can be mindful of the things that I've done. But that's based upon the thing that was done to me. That's part based off the thing that was done to them. It's a vicious cycle. So if you're willing to break the curse, which is to step off your throne of pride and refuse, the opportunity is going to come for you not to love. So this is an opportunity for you to stand on your throne of pride and refuse to love. If you get off that throne of pride and, okay, I'm going to love, that means you're breaking the curse. Now you're surrounding yourself with this presence of love. And this is when the unconditional aspect of love comes inside your heart, and you just get a chance to see something of yourself that you never saw before. You extended yourself towards a person they went out their way to hurt you, and you did something far beyond that you thought that you was capable of doing. You loved them in spite of what they did to you, and you saw something. You went higher in yourself. And no amount of money, no amount of accolades, no amount of whatever can ever compare to that. So now, when it comes to them, remember when you were like, they never existed. Because love moved out the fear. Love destroyed the avenue, the bridge that was bringing the torment towards you. You don't need no artificial substance or supplements. You don't need anything to temporarily give you a fix or temporarily give you a relief or give you some kind of temporal relief. You don't need any of that. You have the permanent relief now. You have risen above not just a situation. You have risen above yourself. It's like you went outside of your body and you're looking at yourself now on a higher plane. You know, so this is what we call the spiritual life, and that's why a lot of people can't receive Jesus as a spirit. They want Jesus to be white and blue-eyed, or be black with or bronze with dreads and so forth. They want it to be this. No, Jesus is a spirit. A person can't recognize that as a spirit because they don't recognize themselves as a spirit. They still think themselves as a shell, as a vessel, as a body. So they would defend. They would promote something that's actually goes back to the dust of the ground. You know, so it's not really, it's temporal. You know, it's not really eternal. You are eternal. And the reason why you are that eternal, to give you some kind of example of that, you dream about what you actually physically do. You know, you dream about that. That's how eternal, your thoughts, your spirits. You know, that's your life. That's your reality. So we can have thoughts of torment. We can have thoughts of liberation. We have thoughts of freedom, thoughts of peace. You could be tortured by thoughts, or you could not be tortured by thoughts. It depends on which thoughts you allow to come in. So going back to the whole, you know, to that pride thing, you know, to the past thing, you don't have to hold yourself in content to that past. You don't have to hold yourself responsible for your past. If you humbled yourself, if you got off your throne of pride, allow humility to grab your hand, allow humility to walk with you inside your soul and point out some things that you have to rectify, that you have to change, that you have to correct. And you have to, when you do these things, you're doing it out of love. So when humility points out these things, you're saying that's opportunity to love, opportunity to love, opportunity to love. Instead of you having your to-do list based upon, I'm going to Jamaica, or I'm going to build a house, I'm going to do this. You have an internal to-do list, like, well, the next opportunity I'm going to love this person, next opportunity I'm going to love this person, next opportunity I'm going to do this, I'm going to rectify this, I'm going to change this whenever I get it. And of course, soon you go ahead to do it, fear is like circling around because they want to stop you from getting rid of it. So the fear, all it has is the torment of thought. If that thought can't torment you, it has nothing. It has nothing. If you notice that when the person can no longer, the person that was tormenting you, or the thoughts that was tormenting you can no longer torment you, you realize that you not only have peace in your soul, the person really is like a different person around you. It's like you're God, and they're like a servant. And it's not that you're looking at them as a servant or that you're trying to make them as one. The role of power has took its proper place. Love is number one. And if we can't render ourselves to love, and that may not be a person, that just be the spirit of love itself. If you can't surrender yourself to love, you can't submit yourself to love, you can't, bow down to love, but then you're going to be in constant torment. It don't matter who you are, what you have, and what you're going to do. It doesn't matter. It's going to find you. Because there's two realities, really. There's two roots of thoughts. There's the love, or there's going to be of death, or fear, however you want to place it. So it's either going to be good or it's going to be evil. It's going to be up or it's going to be down. It's going to be what it is. And if you want to elevate past the point of where you are, you can get the accolades, you can get the promotions, you can get all these things. But it's amazing how you can get them, but you have to find ways to force yourself to enjoy them. You need an artificial supplement or a substance to help you to enjoy an accomplishment. You just got out of jail. You reinventing yourself, but you need a substance to help you to enjoy that. You got out of a place of solitary confinement, where you have to be there to be reinstitutionalized and think about thoughts and think about different things and what you could do better. And depending on how long your sentence is, getting out of that environment is successful by itself. That should be like, okay, I'm enjoying this. But now you got to go get a buzz. You got to go get something to support your success of accomplishment. It doesn't sound complete to me, but hey, I'm considered delusional because I believe that my past doesn't have to be my past anymore. I don't have a past anymore. A matter of fact, from this point on, I don't have to admit or have to even address that I had a past. Like, this happened to me or that happened to me. If I forgiven them and I forgiven myself, which means I humbled myself off the throne of pride and allow humility to walk with me to the door of love, and I can love these people, I can see myself washing their feet, I can see myself where they're not a threat to me, then I have embraced love. I have surrendered myself to love. I have been submerged in love. Then where's my enemy now? Where's my threat? Remember, the enemy is out to get you, to stop you from defeating him. He's just not trying to defeat you for the sake of. He knows what you have, even though you don't know what you have. The success of the enemy, the success of Satan, is based off the ignorance of a believer or a person who doesn't even know who they are. That's his greatest success. That if we don't know who we are idle mind. So that means he could infiltrate and suggest and permit, and he invited to have like these suggestive. Can I say that suggestive? Suggested thoughts towards us. We don't have to do everything right towards what is considered the right way to do it. What I mean by that, speaking what they would say proper English or whatever, proper etiquette or whatever, you don't have to do it right to actually be right. You know in your heart that you're trying. You know in your heart that you're trying. That means you're willing to confront the fear that said that you can't do it. It doesn't matter if you do it right or wrong. It doesn't matter if you fail or not. Containing towards what's considered what it looks like. So like you try to start a business and you're just ecstatic at the fact that you tried because it was told to you that you couldn't do it. So you tried it. And no, you didn't get the accolades. You didn't get whatever what somebody else had or what somebody else deemed as a successful business. You may not even get to the 5-year longevity. It doesn't matter. You can do it again and actually you will get it. You will get to 5 years. The fact that you did it once is the victory because you can do it again. The tormentor has nothing to you unless you allow him to say that you can never do it again. But that's not true. That's only a fact. If you allow it to be at a standstill. But it's not truth because you already proved you went into eternity and you conquered something that told you that you couldn't do the first time around. This is the reason why if you did something that's successful, you don't need anything on the outside to help you. If you, let's say like another example, if you got married, why do you need to have an affair? Am I coming down on the person that does? No. I'm just saying there's no reason for it. You say I married the wrong person. No, you didn't. You haven't married yourself yet, which means that you haven't forgiven yourself. That means your standards is at a certain place and you want that person to like surrender to it. But you're not there yourself. And more likely the reason why we go outside of the marriage because we want somebody to love us in a way that we want to be fulfilled. Which means the point is we haven't fulfilled ourselves. Either there's forgiveness on the line and we refuse to do it, which means there's pride and arrogance awaiting. And so there's always going to be destruction. You can't control another person what they do. Nor should your joy be based upon someone else solidifying doing everything you need them to do. So there's no reason for it. I mean, it depends where you want to be. If you want to go higher in yourself, you have the opportunity to love. If you want to stay where you at and go lower than where you at, you have the opportunity to hold on to where you at. Which means I'm not moving. I'm not wrong, they're wrong, and they shall apologize. If you stay there, well, you never go higher. It don't matter what you do. You're going to work, let's say it for what it is. You're going to work like hell because you're going to have hell inside your soul. You're refusing to give up the pride. You're refusing to give up that for the sake of love. You're refusing because fear has embraced you and told you don't have to do it. So therefore, you won't do it, and your life is going to be a living hell. Are you going to get some things? Yeah, you're going to get some things, but it's going to be nowhere near where you could be. And how about this? This is what happens when we get to the point where we finally want to let go of the pride. And we would say, all this time, I could have just did all that time. That's how deceptive fear is. Fear has nothing but a thought. And that thought is to keep you in a web of lies. That's the whole, if you grab the thought and you meditate on that thought, you become that reality, it becomes a web of lies. Now it seems like you never get out of it, but actually that's a lie. Here's the truth. The moment that you humble yourself off the throne of pride That means here comes the opportunity to love them, to love yourself, or an opportunity to forgive them and to forgive yourself. All right, my people of faith, you are the blessed. Let's be the blessing. Let's keep walking. Oh, I kind of ended it off kind of rough, but if you get into that position where you have the opportunity to love them and you take it, you don't have no past. Your past, more than likely, if it's coming back around, if it's not of good to embrace you, to shower you, to cover you, to protect you, is there to hurt you. If the past is not there to humble himself to you, it's not of love. It's there to bring great torment and great pain. All right, my people of faith, you are the blessed. Let's be the blessing. Let's keep walking.